Before the achievements, before the celebrations, there's the work. Early mornings, late nights. Every challenge faced, every extra effort made.
Every victory starts with preparation.
We value leadership, resilience, and innovation. No victory without work. Because success isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to Adrian College.
Bulldog fans, remember to follow AdrianCollegeTV on social media. For game highlights and campus events, you can catch it all on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X at AdrianCollegeTV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our future streams live and support your Bulldogs.
Continue to take pride and learn from Asa Mahan's leadership today. Years of commitment to harnessing the power of creativity, ingenuity, community, and academic excellence.
I believe that if you get your degree, the world is going to feel like it's shrinking.
Combatants for over a decade and plenty of games played in that time. It's Tuesday night in Michigan, and we are live inside the Arrington Ice Arena. It's the Indiana Tech University Warriors and your Adrian College Bulldogs. Hello, everyone. My name is Alex Herman, joined alongside by Sean Whitmer. Happy to have you all join us up here in the booth. This is going to be a good one, of course, a top 20 ranked matchup in the ACHA D1. This is going to be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and the Bulldogs coming in off of a pretty hot stretch lately. Indiana Tech coming in off a little bit of rough starts as of late, but I think they're going to look to turn things around here today.
Well, we'll talk about the Bulldogs first, of course. 15-3-1 coming into this game. They moved up to the number 5 spot in the ACHA D1 rankings. They're doing absolutely fantastic as of now. If you look at the GL6 standings, only a couple of conference games played for them. That past weekend against Davenport and the weekend before that against Roosevelt, only 4 games for them. They're sitting at second right now behind Hope College, though they have 3 games in hand over them. But if you look at the record, the Bulldogs still doing better. Last week, they were able to sweep the Davenport University Panthers. Both of those games were 4-0 wins. Peyton Traska, Dylan Eliason, absolutely fantastic in the blue paint. They both got shutouts in their separate wins. You saw 4 different goal scorers in each of those 2 games, so everybody doing their part and contributing. It's safe to say we see this team starting to get back to their old selves now.
Yeah, they really hit a bump in the road when they played Niagara. They ended up losing 4-1 in game 1 of that, and then they go into overtime and lose 3-2 in game 2. Since then, they've outscored their opponents 24-2.
The other big milestone that, of course, we have to shout out, head coach Gary Astalos with his second win against Davenport, got his 300th ACHA D1 win. That is a feat not accomplished by many, and really, when you think about it, it's just impressive.
Yeah, he's done a great job with this program in his 10th year currently, and I mean, it's clear he's just looking at what's next, looking at the next opponent, and always trying to get another win in the tally.
And he's been here for so long. He knows this program. He knows how to win. He's got 3 national championships under his belt. Too many conference titles to count. Too many conference playoff titles to count. I mean, this guy does it all, really.
Yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, he's done a lot here. 3 national championships. You can't ask for more out of a coach. He has a 331-6 record, so it's not like he has 300 wins and then he's got a lot of losses to go with it. It's been a very competitive team underneath head coach Astalos. Well,
the Bulldogs are still going to have to be sharp this evening, and Coach Astalos likely will have a strategy going into this. They're playing another tough team in Indiana Tech, who typically plays the Bulldogs pretty well. Those contests aren't separated by too many goals, and this team is talented, so we have to imagine that the Bulldogs are going to be in full force.
Yeah, and it's a coaching matchup that's seen each other a lot. Head coach Frank DeCristofaro is here for his 11th year as the head coach for the Warriors. That's a matchup that's been going on between these two for at least the 10-year mark.
Yeah, and I'm sure they have plenty of stories between the two of them. Saw them in the lobby chatting it up before the game. They know each other. They know each other's teams. You can expect a big game out of the Bulldogs. How do you think that they should approach the Warriors here this evening?
I think the biggest thing for the Bulldogs is staying out of the box. They have too many penalty minutes as a team. They've accumulated 270 team penalty minutes, and they have 4 players over 20 penalty minutes entering today's game. 3 of those players are going to play today.
Yeah, and it's a theme that we've seen all season long, so I have to agree with you. One of the keys to success, stay 5-on-5 or draw calls of your own to try and go on the power play, which we know has been red hot lately. But we'll shift our attention over to Indiana Tech. They're 6-4-3 right now on the season. They moved up to the number 16 spot in the MD1 ranking, so they're also having a pretty successful campaign right now. They're 3rd in the WHAC, which is their conference over on the west side of Indiana. They only had 1 game last week. They played against Hope College, which is another team that the Bulldogs will soon to face later on this season as a GL6 matchup. That was a 1-4 loss, so coming off a little bit of a bumpy stretch. And then the week before that, they split with Lawrence Tech University. It was a 5-1 win and a 2-2 tie, which resulted in a shootout.
Yeah, and I think looking at this matchup between these two teams, a common opponent that they've played is Niagara, and looking at it pregame, game 1 against Niagara for both of these teams, they lost in pretty convincing fashion. Game 2 went to overtime for both of these teams. So I think that's a big matchup to just show how close this will be.
Well, I have to imagine that Indiana Tech, the Bulldogs are both going to come out hard. This is going to be an absolutely fun one here from the Arrington Ice Arena. Top 20 matchup here in Michigan tonight. Alex Herman, Sean Whitmer here in the booth. We'll step aside as we await the first period puck drop. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Bulldog Hockey on ACTV.
You stand today, students, on the threshold of a magical time in your life. A time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and great, great opportunity. A time that you will always look back on.
to even it out. Welcome back inside the Arrington Ice Arena as we await opening puck drop on an unusual Tuesday evening here in Michigan, but not a better place to be in the world than inside the Arrington Ice Arena. It's Indiana Tech and your Adrian College Bulldogs. Alex Herman, Sean Whitmer up here in the booth. Happy to have you all join us here this evening on ACTV. This is certainly going to be a fun one and a matchup that we typically have circled on our calendars every year.
Yeah, and as I mentioned there just before we went off air for the national anthem, so that Niagara series for Indiana Tech, it was a 6-1 loss in Game 1. They ended up losing 4-3 in overtime of Game 2. That was back on October 10th and 11th. The Bulldogs just played Niagara. They lost Game 1 4-1 and lost Game 2 in overtime 3-2.
All right, we got 20 minutes up on the score clock. Puck is dropped, and we are underway from the AIA as this puck shoved deep into Warrior territory and a massive opening hit from the big man in Mateo Turin as he lays down the Thunder. This is off in the neutral zone. A steal by Cash Regan. Off to the races. Down the right wing. Rips a shot and an early save there made by Gage Reimer. Slap shot from Mott. Never reached the net as he backhands it down low. Off the glass and all the way down. This will not have the legs for icing. The Warriors making changes in the process. Ethan McLaughlin will start things off behind the net. Take it to the front of the crease, and the puck that was passed to Hunter Allen dribbled off his blade. Peyton Traska out to stop it, leaves it for Nathaniel Mott. McLaughlin now with a diagonal feed up ice ahead of Caleb Mins, and we'll get our first whistle 54 seconds in on the icing call. 19:06 left to go here in the first.
Yeah, Bulldogs coming out hot immediately with that Mateo Turin hit behind the cage over here on the other side. Now they're playing on their heels a little bit. Thankfully, they did just get a line change off, so it's a pretty fresh group on the ice for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, and that hit from Turin, we say it just about every game. Not somebody that you want to run into. Turin sitting at 6'6", 230 pounds. The junior from Saint-Barbe, Quebec.
He is also one of those guys with a lot of penalty minutes, leading the team with 32 on the season.
Something to look out for as this game progresses. McLaughlin behind the net will find Allen on the wing as this is saucered over everybody's heads. Going to chase it is Malik. As he takes a tumble, don't think there was a trip there. Might have just hit something on the ice. Small area toe drag by Basiluk will send this in. Strasky is off to retrieve it. Outside hash mark, not a whole lot of room to work with. As this is slashed back to the neutral zone, picked up by Mins at center ice. Walks in, shoots, and his high-rising wrist shot just over the crossbar. Hard crunch along the wall again. Bulldogs laying the body down early, and we have a player who's down on the ice that looks like Mason Basiluk, who might have taken the worst of that contact. Seemed like it was more of an innocent play and a clean check on a puck carrier there, but he must have bumped something as it happened. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, you never want to see someone go down in a game, especially early in a game. It was a clean hit, everything considered. Just a lot of bodies flying in to the boards over there across the ice from us. Have seen it happen, though, in recent memory. I believe this weekend we've seen some physicality lead to more physicality later in the game, hoping that everyone understands this was just incidental. There was no malice intent.
No, and you saw Basiluk get up there. He stumbled twice, which would lead me to believe maybe somehow he hit his head. So hopefully he's all right. Not something that you like to see as a player injured early on. Point drive gets stopped by Reimer. As we continue on, Strasky at the center ice red line will dump this in. It's gloved down, and a long drive is poked away. Trying to feed through pressure. That's McLeod. Can't dig it out of the corner. Stopped along the wall is Hunter Allen. McLeod up top for Toff. We'll take a look. Wrist shot gets blocked in front. That was Michael Delaley who stepped in the lane. Trying to find a backhand. That's Eli Reimer. Heading to the wall, Reimer not able to find it. The Warriors will lift this down the ice. And the slow rolling puck called for icing as Peyton Traska held onto his post. So we'll take the faceoff back to our left.
Yeah, and I mean, we've had a lot of changes recently as a couple Warriors were trying to get off the ice there and hide from the icing call. One of these icings could really come to bite you here if you're Gage Reimer, as I believe Eli Reimer was just on the ice. He must have subbed off during the icing call.
Line confusion from the Warriors, and I agree with your thought process. You do not want to be Indiana Tech and ice the puck early on and give the Bulldogs a handful of offensive zone draws, as they're going to do it again here, as we'll head back to the left side dot if that's what the Bulldogs decide to select. And it's deja vu. We're back on that left side dot.
When you're out there, do you prefer a team to choose your glove side or your blocker side?
Doesn't matter to me, honestly. I think it's more important as a shooter because maybe you're in a spot of the ice that you feel more comfortable with, but as a goaltender, you have to stop the puck from any angle anyway, so for me it makes no difference. Back to the red line. Warriors take control. Santinello will skate under with it. He's able to feed it off for Appelt, who is pumped it down by Schaumburger. Zaski with a shoulder check of his own. Schaumburger pitches out on the forehand. This is stolen by Hilterman. Quick shot, pad save made by Traska. Saw it at the last second and was able to keep it out. Soccer kicked through the blue line, as ultimately it will pop out. Here's Regan spinning it to the hash marks. Paused on the wall. A takeaway from Smith. We'll take a look. Trying to find the net. Here's Mott. Lets a shot go. Blocked. Warriors will take it back the other way. Sawyer will lift it all the way down. Askew to the right blocker side of Traska. Some good hard hits along the glass. It's about 4 minutes in. There's a soft shot on Traska. He'll hold on with the glove. It's about 4 minutes into this one. 2 shots apiece. Good early action on both ends. Each team trying to find their footing in this one.
Yeah, and I think the Bulldogs have squandered some very high chances. Looking at the other side, I think the Warriors really haven't had those high-quality looks quite yet, but if they keep getting opportunities for offensive zone draws, they could easily come away with some quality chances.
This is rimmed around the boards for Mins as his backhand is shoveled. The Callaway was trailing in the neutral zone to try and get ahead. Allen takes a bump from behind by Ethan Domini, who will play this in between his feet to Callaway with a nice hit of his own. Allen to the wall. Pitches forward for Callaway. 1-on-3. Makes a nice move, but shut down on the entry. McLaughlin at center ice sends this in on net. Glove save and the release from Reimer. They'll leave it behind for Nikita Ivasenko. So slid back towards the Bulldog bench. McLaughlin scanning with his head up. His pass is tipped and then touched up by Gage Reimer. Back to the near blue line. Warriors will break this out. Santinello walking his way in. Gets the puck stripped from him by Stransky as he'll gather it back on the half wall. Ryan Bro will hold on to this as he gives it off for Stransky. A short pass up ahead for Smith that was up out of his reach. Bulldogs offsides here. They go to work. Regan in deep as Smith will play it on the backhand. Will shield with one hand. A drop shot there that got on net. Looked like he was going to pass it at first and then just let a little wrister go, but Reimer denied it. Some pressure from Indiana Tech. Smith will get the loose puck and skate it in himself. Holds on to the right side wing. Good shot there off the top of the mask of Reimer. And Smith, we know, is a sharpshooter for this Bulldogs squad, trying to find a really close angle there on the top of the crossbar, but denied there as it's deflected into the netting.
Yeah, Smith, as you mentioned, sharpshooter. He is the team leader in goals with 14 on the season. He has 25 total points this year, and trailing him in goals is Blake Weidman with 13 so far. Would like to see the Bulldogs really capitalize on some of these offensive zone draw opportunities that they're getting, because they're winning most of them. They're just not getting good quality looks after the fact.
We were talking about statistics with Sebastian Smith. You can't, of course, forget he's only one of 3 Bulldogs in AC history for the 71 team to hit the 100 goal marker, which he did a couple weeks ago. Shares that leaderboard with his older brother Connor Smith and Brad Coburn. Some fun AC history for you.
Would like to watch the physicality here with Carter McLeod. Got tangled up with a couple Warriors on the after the last faceoff, and one of them actually ended up skating away with his stick.
Seen McLeod only in a couple of games this season as he's trying to find his spot in the lineup as one of the incoming freshmen on the year, but the times that he has been, he's been effective, and not a flashy player by any means, but he makes smart plays and not afraid to lay the body down as well.
Yeah, as you mentioned, only a couple games, 10 games played this season, 3 goals, 2 assists, 4 penalty minutes, one of the smaller penalty minute guys on the team for the Bulldogs.
And that's what happens in your early collegiate career. Not everybody comes in and immediately becomes a starter. And you have to find what your role is and sort of get designated a job, and I'm sure that McLeod, as his time goes on here at Adrian, is going to find that spot for him, as here's a lead pass for Weidman as he ripped the shot just a little bit too early. Ran out of space to operate with. That's the other guy that you got to watch out for with the hot stick at number 3, Blake Weidman. He's been absolutely stellar this year.
Yeah, and he had a little bit of a slower start, but he's come to life as of late. He had 2 hat tricks earlier in the season. He's done phenomenal.
This is sent on net. Traska will shove it aside. Mott will break things up along the boards, and a tipped pass will roll down, but it's not icing. They wave it off. They said there was some Indiana Tech contact. So the Warriors will break it out from their own red line as a long pass connects with Jeremy Dunmore, who will carry it in. His wrist shot wide to the opposite hand of Traska. Of course, wearing his blocker on his left rather than his right. Calloway taken out there, arm up on the play, and it looks like likely a 2-minute minor for tripping against Indiana Tech will send the Bulldogs to their first power play of the day, as Ryan Doucette will sit down in the box for the next 2 minutes.
Doucette getting called early there, the 5'11" sophomore out of Thunder Bay, Ontario. It is going to be his 7th penalty on the season. And while 7 penalties on the season for the Bulldogs is like their 10th person, I believe that's going to be number 4 or 5 in penalties for the Warriors, just showing that discrepancy in how often they go to the box.
So the Bulldogs, with their 31.7% power play percentage, and Indiana Tech 76.1 on the PK. An interesting matchup for sure. You would say that the Bulldogs probably have the upper hand in this 5-on-4, but crazier things have happened. We'll see what transpires. Neutral zone draw after the delayed offsides. It's blown down for a reset. Only 6 seconds gone by.
And I will say 120 minutes separate these two teams in team penalty minutes this season. Warriors enter with 151.
Here's Keegan DeCalloway off to the races. Onsides, goes behind his back and through the legs as it's poked away from him and slap shot it all the way down the ice. Traska will have to stop it off the redirection on the boards. This will give space for Stransky to carry it downhill. Reimer across for Mins with a couple of stick handles and a backhand pass for Allen. Allen to Stransky. Right back for Reimer. They'll cycle the zone. That's some pressure from Santinello. Reimer to Calloway. Sharp angle shot. The rebound in front of the net. And a good keep in, but it popped out from Stransky. Was able to get it the first time, but couldn't squeeze it as this is gloved up into the netting by Mins. And we'll take a stoppage for our draw.
Of course, these two teams playing a pretty wide margin in how many games they've played this season, with the Bulldogs playing 20, Warriors only playing 13. 13.5 average penalty minutes for the Bulldogs, 11.62 average for the Warriors. So there is about a penalty a game discrepancy between the two teams.
Puck was backhanded up into the protective netting. Take our face-off on the near side left dots in the offensive zone for Adrian College. Sort of a long opening minute on the power play. Turin to McLaughlin. Cross for Smith. Lets a shot go. That was blocked. He'll pick up his shot right back. McLaughlin with a wrister. Tipped in front. The rebound. Oh, and a great save made by Reimer. He kept it out with the blocker. Sprawled all the way across the crease. Turin to Reagan. They flip-flop. Out of the slot. Turin's shot. Gobbled up. A good save again by Reimer, and he'll hold on.
If you're Reimer, you're just wanting your team to get a stick on one of these and send it down the ice. Keep your legs a little bit fresh, as it just feels like the Bulldogs are swarming you right now.
Reimer has had a really solid season for Indiana Tech. .274 GAA with a .920 save percentage. Played about just every game for the Warriors. He's doing a great job so far. Bulldogs with 20 seconds left on the power play. Sent to McLaughlin. Over for Reagan. Steps into one. Glove save as it's snared down by Reimer. Saw that all the way into the mitt.
Looked like he even stretched out, got to the edge of his crease, and extended his arm to get contact on the puck early. Otherwise, there might have been a deflection opportunity for the Bulldogs to get it in back door.
That was a confident movement from Reimer. Just smooth skating across the crease, and the cat-like reflexes on display. Schauenberger back for Toth. His shot deflected in front. Rebound. Schauenberger again will pick it up. No angle for his shot. 7 seconds left on the power play before we go back to 5-on-5. Belzile off for McLeod. Will skate it around the top of the circle. Walks his way and shoots, and it's just high over the crossbar. Out of the box. This is Dunmore on net. Plays it, and a good save by Traska as he was being spun around. Somehow kept that out of the net as this is punched underneath the red line. Popped up, and a massive hit there from McLeod. We talked about his physicality earlier, and he shows it right there. Traska will hold on to it with a glove save. 9:43 left to go here in this first period. Be sure to stay connected with all the action by following @AdrianCollegeTV today on social media. From game highlights to campus events, we've got you covered. Don't miss a moment and follow @AdrianCollegeTV today.
Of course, on those social medias, we get a lot of content with each teams, as well as Dog Talks, Bulldog Minute, AC All Access show clips go out on the ACTV social media pages as well. So a lot of content out there for people to watch.
Sure is. Good move from DeCalloway. Lost it at the last second. Reimer was trying to follow up with a shot of his own, but never found it. This is flipped into the far side corner. Bro will fake the pickup and knife it free as this is held up on the wall. Yellow and black sweaters coming together. Sent back towards the blue line as Ivasenko didn't get full muscle on his pass. This is dumped all the way down. I think this is icing possibly. It looks like that's what we were going to get. I was checking to see if they were calling too many men. as he started to point to the bench, but it's going to be icing or face-off back to the left.
Earlier we talked about McLeod not playing in as many games this year. He's played in about half the team's games. Looking at Belzile, he's only played in 5 games this year, half as many as McLeod. Just really getting some young guys out on the ice here tonight.
Good opportunity, too, if you're an underclassman to really strut your stuff and see if you can make an impact and earn some more minutes as the season progresses. Here's Sebastian Smith with a burst of speed, has support from Regan behind him and turn to his right. A slip move there as he wraps around the cage, holding on to the right wing, shoots, blocked, and it's deflected to the corner. Good idea from Smith to let that one fly, but didn't get through the traffic as there was a pile up in front of the net. This is rimmed around the boards by Myler. Up to the blue line, shot there, deflected away by Traska. Easy stick save for him. Toth will jump it out of the zone as it slides all the way down. Gagne in a board battle with Regan. Off to the slot, good slash from Weidman to pitch it forward on one hand. Great play as this is rotated to the corner. Turning shot and a glove save made by Reimer.
Talking with Weidman earlier in the season, having a chance to interview him, I asked him about the fact that he just seems to love skating at full speed and just taking that one-hand slash at the puck. And when I asked him about it, he just said, yeah, it just feels natural for me to just try to get my stick on it. I don't really care how I get my stick on it. As long as I'm making contact, I can make a play.
You know, and it's not a move necessarily that most guys anticipate, as there's 2 good shots there, and the rebound was coughed up on top of the crease. The Bulldogs can't stuff it. And Weidman, of course, not to disparage him by any means, one of the shorter guys on the roster. Turnover there. Hilterman with the spinning shot. That's blockered away by Reimer. But as not a bigger guy, you got to do everything that you can to try and win puck battles. And to just leap that stick out is never a bad thought, to try and just get some kind of wood on it.
Yeah, listed at 5'10". Makes him only one guy shorter than him on the roster, that being Jack Waldo, who we have not seen this season.
Puck was deflected up into the netting, and I mean, when you think about it too, to think that Weidman and one other player are the only guys under 6 feet, it's a big team that you got to play against. Spark dumped in deep. Bro trying to go to work underneath the red line to get his team out of the D zone. It's Eli Reimer who will find Belzile on the left side wing. Had to play the jumping puck in his glove. Sent to the front, turned over, and taken away by Motnick. Top of the circle, dropped back. That was Anderson, who was escorted into the wall. Reimer with a stick check behind him, but he still holds on to the puck. McLeod fanning on his pass, will get it back and send it low for Reimer. Reimer out of the corner, finds Bro, lets a shot go, and it's tipped and patted away by Reimer. Strasky. Toe drag move, gets shut down. The Bulldogs with some extended pressure in the offensive zone. This is tipped out and Bro will skate it back. Atop the Bruiser logo at center ice, passed behind him thinking that he had support, but McLaughlin wasn't yet on the ice. Handbrake spin move from McLaughlin. Now he'll carry it himself. Short pass to Allen. Turned away. Here's Domini in on net to the front, and a good save made by Traska. Flew across the crease as he made that pad stop.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal job there in the crease by Traska to do everything he can. It's unfortunate to give up a turnover there in the neutral zone if you're the Bulldogs, but the Warriors tried to capitalize all day. Traska kept his eyes on the puck and kicked it out.
Peyton Traska, the junior from Drayton Valley, Alberta, has been a standout for Adrian College since arriving a couple of years ago. Solid move from Allen as he danced around, and a great scorpion save from Reimer as he flung his right side pad up. And I think Allen's going to give him a little tap on the shoulder there, either to say, good job, or if I smacked you by accident, I apologize for that. But, man, that's an impressive save from Reimer.
Yeah, and a lot of physicality there after the play against Caleb Mins. One of the players under 6 foot on this team. He is 5'11" listed, but he's played a lot this season, and right there almost had a little bit too much going on after the play. I believe he's the only Bulldog on the team to not find his way into the sin bin this season.
McLaughlin jumping off the blue line, gets covered, and Reagan denied on the doorstep by Reimer again. My goodness, is he coming up with some big stops here in the first. Turin, drop pass for Reagan, who's hit hard by Myler. Smith swings it for McLaughlin, punches forward. It's deflected before it reached Reimer. Warriors are onside. There's a shot as it got behind Traska. I don't think he ever saw it through the flash screen on the rush. To the slot, backhanded, wide to the glove end. Picked up by Ivasenko, who's sent down hard by Turin. We'll get a whistle here as the net got dislodged. 4:05 left to go here in this first period. No scoring yet between Indiana Tech and Adrian College. Alex Herman, Sean Whitmer up here in the booth. Happy to have you all join us here on a nice Tuesday evening in Michigan.
Of course, with this week being Thanksgiving week, that's why we're having the game on Tuesday instead of a normal Thursday, Friday, or Saturday.
And I'm sure both of these teams will be happy to get a couple days of rest.
Well, I can guarantee you Scholl will definitely be happy to be getting a couple days rest after that hit.
Allen can't hold on to his footing. Here's Schauberger with a wrist shot that gets blocked by a knee pad. This is chopped ahead. Sawyer will find Apples on the wing, and out to stop it on the forehand is Traska. We'll leave it behind for Toth, who has to get rid of it quickly. Lyman will go to the corner and forces the turnover there. We'll slash it ahead, and there you see it again, the one-handed slash. As Reimer ran into Savoda.
You don't normally see Reimer stumbling after a hit. He's a pretty big forward out there for the Bulldogs, and right there he got caught a little bit off guard.
6'4", 205. There's a wrist shot in tight, stopped by Traska. I just don't think he was expecting that hit there. Kind of turned around and there was another body in his face, so sometimes it can catch you by surprise.
Yeah, and especially in the neutral zone there. Neutral zone, center ice, you're not expecting to make contact with another body as physically as he did there. If you do make contact, usually it's just brushing shoulders or something minuscule that you can shake off. He was not able to shake that one off.
2:55 left to go in this first period. Offensive zone draw for Indiana Tech. They send it D to D as Kanye Gagne will send that low. It's tipped away and played by Traska. Was trying to move it off to the corner, I believe, but didn't get all of it, so instead he put the trapper on top of it.
How about the flip side of that hit in the neutral zone, though? If you're Svabato, you're 5'10", and you just stumbled a 6'4" Eli Reimer, you have to be feeling pretty good about yourself right now.
No doubt about that, and that'll earn you some bonus points on the bench for sure. It's speaking of benches, I mean, you look at both sides. I didn't realize that Indiana Tech was a little bit lighter in numbers than the Bulldogs. You see to our right in yellow, it's a little bit more full and a little bit thin to our left. The guys wearing the black and orange sweaters. But despite being down numbers, they've done great in this first period. Still no scoring. Shots 14-10 in favor of Adrian College. So both sides keeping up with the offense. Down low, wrap around, paddle down is Traska, and he stops it. Turin got tangled up with Hunter Scholl after that whistle.
It's not for a lack of roster, though. I just don't think Indiana Tech traveled as many players. They actually, on their roster, they have, I believe, 4 more players than the Bulldogs.
Well, 2-minute roughing call is going to go against Indiana Tech. It was something after the whistle, as Domini is going to go to the box. And so we'll give Adrian College another chance at the power play late in this first period. Unsuccessful on their first attempt, but we'll see what they can do here. This is one back, played by McLaughlin. Moves it to the side. Smith with a shot deflected in front by Turin. Full screen on Reimer. Well, they can't stuff it. Here's Smith again. Toe drag shot through the legs of Weidman. Around the boards for Regan. Across the lane. Smith will play it, lets it fly, and a pad stop on the VH by Reimer. He keeps another one out. Will try and put his glove on top of it, but pitchforking it out of the pile was Regan, but Warriors will send this all the way down the ice.
A little surprising that the Bulldogs have had 2 power play opportunities so far in this game, and we haven't seen a single one for the Warriors quite yet.
Hopefully that's a good thing for the Bulldogs. They're able to keep that up. Of course, you want to stay out of the box as much as you can. 60 seconds gone in the 5-on-4 roughing penalty. Strasky is able to find Reimer on the left side wing. Drop pass back to Strasky, across for Allen. We'll pick up the pace. Reimer to Strasky, waits, down low, distributing to DeCalloway. Back for Reimer, no shot yet from the Bulldogs. Strasky shooting, stopped by Reimer in front.
Yeah, and some of the extracurriculars after the whistle is often why we see the Bulldogs in the penalty box as much as they are per game, but the refs in this one are letting them play. They haven't seen anything that's crossed that line to where they're going to want to settle everyone down, and sometimes you settle things down by just making an example out of a player after a play.
Off the face-off, this is sent up the boards by Mins to Strasky. Reimer down low for DeCalloway, less than 60 seconds left in the first. Strasky to Mins. Butterfly saved by Reimer on the 1-tee. Allen with a shifty move. Lays it back for Reimer, who also has some fancy footwork. 3 seconds left on the power play. They'll make late changes, are the Bulldogs. Reimer lets it go, blocked in front. Shot straight into a double screen. This is bounced around, chopped, and popped up in the air. As Reimer let a pass go, didn't have any support in front of him to take it away. Cross ice with 17 left to go. McLeod almost got it free. Belzile will chase it down. Zaski turns, and his pass off. Bulldogs wanted a too many men call on the ice, and I have to agree with them there. And the Warriors had possession. So I think Indiana Tech's going to get away with not getting called for the 3rd time in that period as time expires. And we're deadlocked at 0. Not something that you say very often in these men's D1 games. Bulldogs unable to find the back of the net on their 17 shots, and the same thing for Indiana Tech. 10 shots for their offense and zeros on both sides of the scoreboard.
Yeah, and I think Toth was trying to get a little bit of a word in on that too many men call. I believe Sebastian Smith's going to do the same right here, maybe talking about some cross-checking going on. Just trying to get everything cleaned up. So your captain comes over and talks to the officials in the intermission, but I think it's been a lot of back-and-forth hockey. It's just a matter of the Bulldogs capitalizing on the opportunities that they have. 7 more shots on goal so far in that first period. You have to start capitalizing on some of your chances.
Well, I think the other thing that they're running into is Gage Reimer right now, who's hot right in the blue paint for the Warriors. He made some really big-time stops there in that first period, and if you can get to 20 shots in the first period of a game, or close to 20 shots, you're doing something right as far as offense is concerned. And I think for the Bulldogs, that was honestly one of their more complete periods of the season. They did everything right other than score. So nothing that you have to be upset about, but now you just have to find the solution to putting the puck in the back of the net.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and every line's looked really good today. I really like the stuff we're seeing out of the Eli Reimer line, having 2 freshmen to either side of him in Carter McLeod and Marc-Antoine Belzile, and they've played really well next to him. It's almost like putting that senior force next to the 2 young guys, trying to mentor them live in the action. And Reimer, of course, a junior, but he plays like one of the top leaders on this team, and he's making an impact despite not having some of his usual line mates out there with him.
Yeah, and Reimer this season, 10 goals, 19 assists, team leading 29 points. I mean, he's been a player that has been a force as a transfer from NCAA Division III. He's been effective all season long, so I'm sure they'll try and dish him the puck a little bit more as this game progresses. But tied up at 0s after 20 minutes. We still have 40 more minutes of regulation to go. Here at the Arrington Ice Arena, Indiana Tech and Adrian College will take a step aside for the first period intermission and return for the second after the break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Bulldog Hockey on ACTV.
Bulldog fans, remember to follow Adrian College TV on social media. For game highlights and campus events, you can catch it all on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X at AdrianCollegeTV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our future streams live and support your Bulldogs.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
You stand today, students, on the threshold of a magical time in your life. A time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and great, great opportunity. A time that you will always look back on.
This is the Arrington Bookstore at Adrian College, the place to get game day ready, represent your clubs and organizations, and be Bulldog proud. With a wide selection of merchandise and a smile at every visit, stop by inside the Kane Student Center to pick up your Adrian College wares and make it another great day to be a Bulldog.
I'm a special ed social worker.
And I'm a third-year public affairs major.
I'm an action filmmaker.
Jevi is like a consolidated platform where I could have focused information in a couple swipes.
You can be another small voice that adds to a beautiful space. That's what I'm here for.
One-on-one battles lead to unit battles, which lead to team battles, and then a big victory at the end. Nothing different today than what you do every day, all right? Love you guys. Win on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Morgan, the current student government president here at Adrian College. I chose Adrian College because of the campus size. Campus feels like a fun, energetic community where everyone knows each other. If you want to see what Adrian has to offer for you, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
Adrian College is a private liberal arts institution known for its diverse academic programs, strong emphasis on experiential learning, vibrant campus life, and commitment to fostering a supportive community. Want to visit Adrian College for yourself? Visit our website at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
Adrian College is shaping the future of higher education and leading the way in innovation and excellence. Ranked first in most innovative schools and second in best value in undergraduate teaching in the Midwest by U.S. News and World Report, Adrian College is recognized for its commitment to innovation, quality education, and affordability. Offering 71 undergraduate programs, 13 graduate programs, and a 1-to-15 faculty-to-student ratio, our students receive personalized attention and a cutting-edge education. With state-of-the-art facilities, 10 academic institutes, and 50 competitive sports teams, Adrian fosters growth both inside and outside the classroom. From small class sizes to championship-level athletics, we provide the tools and experiences you need to succeed. Join a community that prioritizes your success. Start your journey with us, where your potential is realized. Discover Adrian College.
Are you looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
diploma you will receive symbolizes your efforts and distinguishes you as a highly educated person, learned in the arts and sciences and prepared for a life of achievement and great accomplishment.
Adrian College has built something very special. You've created not just an academic environment, but a culture of physical excellence, discipline, and resilience. You've turned this college into a place where pushing the limits isn't the exception, it's the expectation.
We leave here with countless memories, loyal friendships, and moments that have shaped our character far beyond what we could have imagined when we stepped onto campus. So now, class of 2025, we've come a long way, and I know as we step into this next chapter, we'll step into a new exciting adventure. I know we will do so in faith, in confidence, and in gratitude. Thank you guys, and congratulations, Adrian College, class of 2025.
Before the achievements, before the celebrations, there's the work. Early mornings, late nights. Every challenge faced, every extra effort made.
Every victory starts with preparation.
We value leadership, resilience, and innovation. No victory without work. Because success isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to Adrian College.
If there was one word I was going to use to describe the communication arts program at Adrian College, it would be unique. Students find themselves on the radio, in front of and behind the camera, and directing their own programs. Students learn in a personalized environment that sets them up for a world of opportunities. Are you ready for your moment in the limelight? Learn more about the Rush Communications Center and Adrian College's communications program by visiting adrian.edu today.
Welcome to Adrian College, where we believe in educating both the heart and the mind. With over 100 innovative academic programs and 10 cutting-edge institutes, you'll find a path that's right for you. Join our vibrant community of over 50 athletic teams and discover why we're recognized as a U.S. News & World Report Most Innovative Institution. Adrian College, where passion meets purpose. Your future starts here.
Welcome back inside the Arrington Ice Arena Top 20 ACHA D1 matchup here in beautiful Adrian, Michigan. Indiana Tech and your Adrian College Bulldogs right here at the AIA. Alex Herman and Sean Whitmer, happy to have you all rejoin us here on ACTV. For those of you just tuning in now, 20 minutes gone, first period done, and no scoring. 17 shots for the Bulldogs, 10 for the Warriors. But nobody can find the back of the net so far in this one. But I imagine that something will have to change here in the second period. And if it doesn't then, it will change in the third. And somehow if it doesn't in the third, then we'll find someone in overtime to put a goal on the board. But Bulldogs really with a phenomenal first period. We were talking about it just before the break. And they did really everything right that they could other than at least score once, and the only thing that I could think for their offense is maybe you could go to the net to try and pick up some loose rebounds, but on the couple of chances that they've had on loose pucks in front, it's been Gage Reimer for the Warriors who stood tall and picked up everything sent his way.
Yeah, and you talk about trying to pick up a couple loose rebounds by the net. The issue is Reimer's kicking everything to the corner.
Yeah.
If it's in there, he is sending it as far away from his crease as possible, and that's exactly what you need to do. The other aspect of that, on the rare occasion where it's bounced right back down and dropped in front of him, everyone else is right there to help him clean it up if he can't corral it himself.
Yeah, and saw a couple of good glove saves. Saw him smother it in his chest, his deflections up into the netting. I mean, from a goaltending perspective, he's playing his game and looks confident, looks smooth, and that's really going to be the biggest hurdle, I think, going forward for the Bulldogs for the rest of this game. "20 minutes will go back on the score clock Everybody up at center. Puck is dropped and will resume play here at the AIA. Bulldogs starting their offense early as they send this in on net. Reimer looked to push it aside, but it slid away from him. McLaughlin with an early drive that gets blocked in the slot as Regan takes a tumble. Smith with a big shoulder on the wall on Doucette. Off the boards, skimming the top of the glass, but this will go out of play. 26 seconds in, we'll get a whistle.
Yeah, if you're the Bulldogs, you want that last opportunity back. Felt like you had a good chance to put one on Reimer and allow for the rebounds we had just talked about. However, it got swallowed up before it ever even got to him. It couldn't make it through the traffic.
Tied up on the face-off. McLaughlin is able to help this over for Hunter Allen, who's got some speed. Moves to the wall, gets around, Allen in, scores! 40 seconds into the second period, Hunter Allen breaks the seal and the Dogs lead 1-0.
It's a great job by the Bulldogs. They get out running, and in transition, it's always harder to stop a team no matter the sport. Hunter Allen plays it off the boards to himself, and then he drags it right in front of the face of Reimer, almost toying with him before he sends it in on net.
Low blocker, one of those cheat code goals for highly touted shooters, and Hunter Allen will pick up his 5th goal of the season, paired with his 6 assists for 11 points. And there was the answer to our question. The hurdle that the Bulldogs had to face, they jumped over it early. Strasky couldn't keep it in on the blue line as it's moved over for Bro. Fast feed out to McLeod. Some more tic-tac-toe playing there as Reimer couldn't convert. This will be icing on the Warriors, and we'll take the face-off back to our right.
Yeah, if you're the Bulldogs, you'd like to see your team handle the puck on the blue line a little bit better. Strasky just had it loose a little bit. It ended up exiting the zone. They had to reset, kind of squandering that opportunity to tally more goals on top. That's not something you see out of Strasky very often, as he's a pretty sound player there by the blue line.
I would say that Strasky really has had a breakout year on the blue line. He's appeared in all 20 of the games for the Bulldogs, has a goal and 15 assists for 16 points. And I mean, if you're nearing close to point per game as a defenseman, that's really solid for the sophomore.
Yeah, and there's only one player with more assists than him on the team, and that's Eli Reimer, who has 19.
Yeah.
Strasky has done a phenomenal job at engineering things from the point, which the Bulldogs like to send in that deflection opportunity.
There you see some more offense from Strasky. Let a good shot go as it's gloved down by Reimer. Clearly, he's not afraid to shoot the puck, and his passing clearly is working because, I mean, in the mid-teens, he's got assists, so. This is touched up by Bro at his blue line. We'll take it back to the far blue. Weidman out of the play, took a stumble. This is ripped around, caught on the boards by Dunmore. He'll lose control of it as Hilterman will look to slap it out. Gagne played it as a kicking puck on Traska. Almost got by him, but had his head on a swivel. He'll hold on to that.
Yeah, it was phenomenal effort in front as well, as Ryan Doucette was crashing in with immense speed, trying to get the deflection and just really put one away from Traska. Unfortunately, Traska dove on top of it before Doucette could ever even make contact.
Nayak will go off for us. Sabota. Regan will pull up and tumble it down. Will get behind the defender. And Nikita Ivasenko. Smith will break the play up on the boards. Turin across for Zaski. Takes a look. Good shot there. Stick save by Reimer. Saw it through a big screen in front of him by Sebastian Smith. Was looking for the deflection. Drive there. Pad down from Traska. Never had to come away with the save, but there was open room as Malik Ali had an opportunity. Drive from the point. Short shot. Kind of was a change up on Traska. I don't think there was full power there. As a hard pass from Smith will find Turin. Will chop for it as it's sent into the right corner. Now in front, glove down. Is Reimer, he'll squeeze it. 3 minutes into this second period. A lot of whistles so far early on in this period, but the Bulldogs holding on to their 1-0 lead.
Yeah, and Turin just very upset there after the play. He was poking at Reimer, and one of the Warriors took offense to that, stepped on his stick and shattered it in half. So Turin was not too happy, and if I'm the Warriors, that's the last person I want to make mad after he started the game with so much physicality. He's been quiet lately, but he could easily bring it back.
And if stepped on the twig there and snapped it in half, you're lucky the official didn't see it, because they can call that as unsportsmanlike conduct.
I will say Turin wasn't innocent in the matter, but you shouldn't have stepped on his stick by any means.
You can push and shove after the whistle, but once it's done, it should be done. We get nothing out of it and continue on. Warriors offsides and a late hit from Mott. We'll get some stick taps from the Bulldog bench. Isaiah Gagerman unhappy that he took a shot on the boards.
We're talking about extracurriculars after the whistles, and the officials just aren't calling it. It's going to lead to dangerous plays. That is a very dangerous play there. Mott's skating towards the box, but I don't think he's going in. So once again, we have somebody stepping on a stick down here on the other end. We have Mott hitting somebody 3 to 4 seconds after the whistle was blown. It's not even close.
It's hard, too, especially because I don't think Mott was anticipating there to be an offsides call, so he was in the process of going to hit him anyway, and he's going to take a call here as Reimer is going to head back to the bench. He's still engaged in a skirmish. Now we got more of a tussle as he gets engaged with Santinello. Mott's going to go to the box no matter what. We'll see if the Warriors get anybody to match him. And yeah, so Mott is able to draw a call against him, and Francesco Santinello will sit in the box as well, as they're still jawing in the sin bin.
Smart to draw one for the Warriors. Unfortunately, Mott might get a double minor here.
We'll see what happens. I'm going to say it's going to be evened up, and each guy will get 2 minutes, because there was a tripping behind the play for Mott, which was the initial penalty, and then he backed away after he knew he was going to the box, and Santinello pulled up on him. Or, there you go, you are right. They are going to get an extra guy. So a power play for the Warriors as they look to try and even it up. I was thinking maybe they were just going to give him the original minor penalty, but he does get 2. And I'll be interested to hear what they say are the official calls, because you didn't see a whole lot of signals from the official in front of the bench, but we'll get that over the PA hopefully in a couple of seconds to clear up the confusion. Ivasenko shooting, stick save made by Traska. The rebound collected, sent back to the point. Ivasenko, left side dot. There's a wrist shot through traffic, gets blocked and moved aside. Weidman with a great stick play as he's able to elevate this all the way down. 4 new Bulldogs, 5 new Warriors on the ice as everybody makes changes.
It looks like Cash Reagan is the other Bulldog in the box
So I think Reagan's just there to serve. Getting around Zaski, that was Delaley. Back to the blue line. Shot from distance that tips down and rolls past Traska. Luckily, nobody from Indiana Tech saw it. Otherwise, would have had some free space to put that in the back of the net. Turin riding behind Gagerman on his coattails. Gets this free, trying to find a Callaway in the slot, but it's tipped away. Here come the Warriors. Moving right to left. A takedown from Toth. As he's able to stop that rush, and it's sent out by the Bulldogs, who have done a great job on this PK of getting rid of the puck rather quickly. There's a steal, short-handed. Weidman, not enough distance to get there, tries to find Smith again in front of the net. 2 seconds and one, and out of the box comes Reagan. So we're back to even strength. Reagan passes for Smith, shoots, and a save from Reimer. He'll hold on to it, 13:56 left to go.
Santinello was stuck in the box until a whistle, as there were 5 Warriors on the ice, so now he'll skate over to the bench area. Be interested to see how long they're going to keep.
If he's still, if Mott's in the box, I would imagine it's probably a 10-minute. So Twig goes flying out of the hands of Reimer. Slap shot from the point gets deflected. That was Ziskinder, who tried to find the back of the net.
Yeah, if we were playing lacrosse, I'd start screaming yard sale here.
This is flipped up in the air, stopped in the near side corner. McLaughlin will sweep this over for McLeod and get it right back. Give and go to McLeod. They're on sides. Ahead is McLaughlin. His pass behind his back is intercepted. Gagne has his motion impeded. This is stopped on the boards by Bro. Over for McLeod. Mayick will throw this deep. Bro trying to get out of the zone. Has some pressure from Sawyer as this gets away from him. DeCallaway can't come up with it either. As Strasky will recollect it behind Traska. Working on the forehand. Dishes to the side for Bro. Will walk it up for DeCallaway as I believe they're either going to call this offsides or a deflection into the bench, but we'll stop play. 12:21 left to go here in the second period. A little bit slower movement, a little bit slower moving in this second frame than the first.
I mean, the first 40 seconds were about as electrifying as you could get, and then everything, as you mentioned, has just kind of feels almost like we're in quicksand right now.
Bro will play catch with Strasky as that pass gets redirected back to the Bulldog end. Bro showing off the edge work. Almost carried it right in front of Traska. Of course, never want to do that. Gagerman around the way. There's a great passing play from the Warriors, but they can't stuff it. That was Santinello who was in front of the net all alone. Had too much elevation. Here's Allen again. Has a goal in the game. To the slot. Pass is taken away. There's a hit from behind on Doucette, and Traska will glove it down and leave it. DeCallaway, 3-on-3 are the Bulldogs. Off the boards. Mins will play it off the kick plate. Another thunderous hit from DeCallaway, slow to get up behind the play that looks like Hunter Scholl. Or apologize, that's Gagne who was slow to get up from the hit from DeCallaway. And I guess I'm wrong on the 10-minute on Mott because he's out of the box, so it was a double minor or a 5-minute?
Might have been a minor major. Had him serve 5 before sending him 5 and then the nearest whistle maybe?
I don't know. Well, we'll have to look at the score sheet because I think I was talking when they were saying what the penalties were over the PA. But nonetheless, Mott's out of the box so he can return to play and hopefully contribute over the next couple of minutes. This is flipped out of the zone. Some speed from Reagan is quickly stopped. Smith around the way. Reimer out to stop it. Will play it around the boards on the forehand. This has very much felt like a rinse and repeat period of just dump and chase on both sides for whatever reason, which is unusual because it's a little bit different in the first period. Stuff attempt stopped by Traska. Zaski down low. Off to the dot, turned over. Quick move by Mocknick. Shot from the point. Well wide and off the target. Off the boards and down. Puck is out of play, and are you ready to explore your Adrian Future Scholarship Day? Let's admitted students tour campus, meet faculty, and earn a renewable scholarship. Be sure to register now at adrian.edu/admissions/visit campus/scholarship day. Just about halfway through this period as we have some discussion in front of the Bulldog bench. Unsure of what it's for, but one of the head officials and the linesmen are there discussing with everyone.
Makes you wonder too, as of course they're discussing things over here. Mott was just discussing things with some of his teammates by the circle. You wonder if there's going to be a target on Mott's back after the late hit. As we mentioned, obviously not ill-mannered by any means. It was just awful timing if you're Mott. And then you have all the extracurriculars happening after the play before Mott eventually got sent to the box. He's now back on the ice.
I think there was a injury with one of the officials, one of the linesmen. I think I saw the trainer down there, and we'll get back to the Mott thought, but I think one of the linesmen took something off the finger because now he's taped up on that right side ring finger. So maybe a little cut there or something, so hopefully he's all right. But I agree, we'll have to keep our eyes on Nathaniel Mott for the rest of this game. And, you know, not somebody who's afraid to back down from anybody. Got engaged in that firefight earlier that drew some penalties. Walking this in, there's a quick shot off the outside of the apron. Looked like it fooled Traska there as he lunged out with his blocker. Back to the slot, Warriors have it. They send it in front, kicked out by Traska. The rebound goes in. It gets over the head of Traska. And the Warriors have evened it up with 9:22 left to go in the second.
Just sloppy clearing for the Bulldogs. The Warriors do a good job at staying alert as they're playing it in front. It's still loose and just whacking at it left and right until it finally gets the back of the net. If you're the Warriors, you are celebrating that the same way you would if it was a bar down, just lightning rod of a goal.
It looked like Ethan Domini was leading the handshake line as the Warriors went back to the bench.
I believe our PA just gave credit to grad student Malik Ali out of Flat Rock, Michigan.
And there's the response from the Bulldogs. We're talking about one goal. We get another. Keegan DeCalloway is able to find the back of the net and regain the 1-goal lead.
Yeah, what are the odds on that? I mean, we're over here trying to get corrections on
the answer from the Warriors, and DeCalloway just squeezed one away. He got lucky, right place, right time, sitting back door. Reimer overcorrected toward the puck, and DeCalloway is fortunate enough to be in the right spot.
I mean, that goal really mirrored the Indiana Tech one, where there was a couple of shots in tight. The puck bounced out to the right area, and somebody who was waiting ready for it. This time it's Keegan DeCalloway is able to get one back. Bulldogs on top again for the second time tonight. Another try in front of the slot. There's Anderson across. There's a drive to the slot. Big save made by Tresca. They try and send it up front again. Great stop from the junior. Bro dancing in neutral ice. Finds Reagan. Lost it as it rolled off his stick. Smith trotting his way through a sea of black sweaters. Sent back to the point, glove down is Toth. High IQ play there. So he's able to keep the offense going. Allen trying to generate some more. This is pitched out. Zaski will take it across for Mins, who was cutting across the ice. Thrown up for DeCalloway, lost it into his feet, played back for Mins, moved over, scores! DeCalloway for two! And the Bulldogs up 3-1.
Obviously, if you're the Bulldogs, you'll take any goal you can get, but this one looks more like what we're used to. DeCalloway loses the puck, he plays it back to Mins, and DeCalloway screamed back door, getting wide open for Mins to hit him perfectly on the blade. DeCalloway buried it past a outstretching Reimer.
Not a whole lot that Gage Reimer could do about that one. Bang, bang play on the back door, and no doubt about it, that's smashed into the back of the net. And you saw after the first DeCalloway goal, Turin got onto the ice and kind of gave the pick it up symbol with his hands. And picking things up are exactly the Bulldogs as they find two goals quickly and move their lead now to 2. As we have a 3-1 game with 7:09 left to go in the second period.
Yeah, and I would say that's probably the most Bulldog-esque goal we've seen here tonight, as just playing fast, playing team hockey, and getting that puck across the crease for the shot. The other two goals, while they're phenomenal on the scoreboard, they're going to help you in the win-loss category. That last one was really Bulldog hockey.
Yeah, that's a textbook play there, and those are the kinds of things that you set drills up for in practice that you try and execute on, and that was done to a T, as we're going to get a whistle here. I think it's going to be too many men. Is this against the Bulldogs? Yes. Wow. Too many men against the Bulldogs. Nathaniel Mott's going to go and serve this. And just after getting their 2-goal lead, they're going to have to go back on the kill for the next 2 minutes.
It's interesting as well because it happened at such a time. We thought it was going to be boarding or cross-checking something because it happened right as a big hit occurred. They got him for too many men, and I actually like sending Mott to the box for this because we mentioned that he might have had that target on his back. Getting him off the ice for the penalty kill could potentially calm the tensions down a little bit.
Well, we do see Mott on one of their PK units, so not necessarily somebody that you want in the box, I would say, but I agree with you. Take some light off a player that maybe Indiana Tech would focus on, but we'll see what happens here. Great shot block from Strasky as he's able to force that puck out of the zone. Gagerman over for Doucette. Saucer back for Gagerman. Swiping for it is Weidman. Smith with a steal, shorthanded in, backhand, and it goes wide. ran out of room, but that was a great opportunity and a good try for Sebastian Smith.
Almost would have liked to see him play that over to Weidman, who was screaming up for the late reinforcement.
Time winding down here in the second period. There's about 5:40 left to go. Bro will try and muscle it out of the zone. Dufort keeps it in. DeCalloway can't get it out either. This is taken by Myler. Down low to the dot. Back for Myler. Holds the blue. Across the lane. Faked shot from Doucette. Myler with a drive. Pad save from Traska. The rebound was there for the picking, but Indiana Tech can't take advantage. 25 seconds now on the 5-on-4.
And Reimer almost made a big mistake there. That puck trickled off the heel of his stick and almost went right into the net.
Sabota drops it back. And a chest stop from Traska.
There's a nice drop off there, just a little bit too fancy. It took that extra second, allowing Traska to be aware of what was going on, spinning around to drop it off face to face instead of just dropping it between your legs or leaving the puck alone and letting your teammate take over. It takes that extra time, and a goalie like Traska is not going to allow easy ones in when he has as much time to prepare.
The forced exit is kept in. Short angle shot. Traska with a nice save. Trying to extend the twig was Turin. Mott is out of the box. We're back to even strength, 5-on-5. Turin for Reimer, who uses his speed. His wrist shot stopped by Reimer. That gets confusing there. Of course, talking about two different players, and no relation whatsoever between Gage Reimer, who's from Medicine Hat, Alberta, and Eli Reimer is from Lansing, Michigan. So maybe they're distant cousins or something. You never know. Long lost brother with the same last name, but stranger things have happened in the hockey world.
It's also strange that that's the first time you've had to say that, as
Yes.
Reimer hasn't had any shots on goal until then. Been a pretty quiet evening for him.
I was thinking about that when we were looking at the line chart in the beginning of the game, that eventually we were going to get a shot from Reimer, saved by Reimer, but up to that point, we hadn't. Here's Reimer again, in on net, moves it over, trying to find Allen. Was too far out of his reach. That was the right idea, though, instead of to go for the shooting play, because Reimer was ready for the shot from Reimer. There it is again. Here's Mott, wrist shot. Wide to the blocker end, clanks off the boards, has sent down low. Reimer by himself. Will throw it forward for Mott. His pass around the boards. Reimer tries to stuff it on the wraparound, and it pops over the net. In the corner, trying to get it out are the Warriors. They're able to do so, and Mott will chase it down the length of the ice. 3:30 left to go here in the second period. Santinello with a feed. That was looking for Sawyer. Off the backside of the official as it's stolen. Onto the face-off dot, it's McLeod, and a penalty again, a hooking call. We'll see who this is going to go against. I think it's the Bulldogs. Yep. It's going to be Marc-Antoine Belzile to the box for hooking. So some penalty trouble here in the second for the Bulldogs as they'll head back to the kill once again. The late stages of this second 20-minute frame.
Team captain Malik Ali on the ice for the Warriors. Has the only goal on the day for him.
Gagerman's shot soaked by Smith. He peels it off and gets a feed right back. Gagerman steps into a shot. The backhand slapped away. Rebound wide to the net. Chopped off the apron. Pinballing around. Will bounce to the blue line. Here's Weidman with the steal. Short-handed 2-on-1 with Smith. Smith shoots and he fanned on it. Tried to send it on net, but it bounced on him as he went to release. Oh, that would have been a another good opportunity shorthanded.
And Smith just got slung down to the ice.
Here's Dufort. Takes a shot from Bro, but in the process sends it around the boards. Stopped by Turin, as he's right behind Sabota. Turin has space and sends this down. They've gotten through a minute of PK time. Weimer will leave it. Leading the charge is Ivasenko. The Callaway muscled him into the boards. Toth trying to break up the party. Sabota, D-to-D feed, deflected to the corner. Zaski with a massive hit on the boards. And then the extra one there, the hand pass is going to be called, I believe, on Indiana Tech. 22 seconds left to go in the 5-on-4 power play for the Warriors, and 94 seconds of regulation time in the second period.
And Zaski's got to be careful. Obviously, the hit was clean. It's the extras that he's doing after the place, kicking people's stick away, doing all these things after the whistle is what's going to get him in trouble.
Ripped around the half wall. Up to the side, Ivasenko will stop it. And this is bouncing around and played deep towards Gage Reimer, and that'll just about do it again. For the PK for the Bulldogs, they've been stellar on the special team unit. Here's Doucette, toe drag shot stopped by Traska, was loose for a moment, and he stops it. With 1:01 left to go here in the second.
You know, in contrary to what we said about Reimer not taking as many shots today, I'm surprised we haven't called Doucette's name more as leading the team in goals and more extracurriculars that we've seen all game here. This time has a official falling to the ice.
We got a D-zone draw here with just about 60 seconds left. Both sides getting line changes. And it's Santinello who's thrown out of the circle for Anderson. Anderson wins it back. Gagne tosses it low off the outside of the net as it pops free. Two-on-two on the wall. McLaughlin gets his stick mixed in the salad. Still tied up on the glass. Nobody wants to pop it free. Reagan will go around for Allen, who will promptly stop it. Santinello with a takeaway up to the point. McLaughlin, small bump there. Allen with a couple of seconds left, maybe can find a shot. Will dish to McLaughlin, who decides not to chase it. And it's Reagan on the wall with a shot. Mins will take a smack to the face, and some more fisticuffs after the whistle. Everybody trying to get the last word in, and have to realize that eventually the officials are going to call both sides. So you might as well just put an end to it.
And I'm surprised we haven't had more after the whistle penalties in this game. It's getting to the point where player safety is going to start to be called into question, as we're seeing it after every single play, and that's when you start to see extracurriculars go a little bit too far.
Well, everybody will calm down and head back to their respective dressing rooms to talk things over, but didn't have any scoring in the first period, and a combined 4 goals after 40. 3 for the Bulldogs and 1 for the Warriors. Hunter Allen got that opening goal to make it 1-0, and Warriors had a response and Keegan DeCalloway, with a response of his own twice there, gives the Bulldogs a 3-1 lead after 40 minutes. Trying to run away with their lead heading to the end of regulation.
Yeah, and for the Warriors, it was Malik Ali out of Flat Rock, Michigan, my neck of the woods out there in southeastern Michigan. But he did a good job at just putting that puck in the net through all the traffic and it just being a loose bouncer that he was able to finish. Bulldogs had one go the other way. That was DeCalloway's first goal, mind you, was very similar in that regard. And then he just gets that backdoor feed wide open from Mins. Phenomenal second period from DeCalloway, and an even better second period from the Bulldogs as a team.
I think it goes to show, too, one of the things that we were alluding to, which is just go to the front of the net and try and pick up rebounds. Other than Allen's goal, that was off of a rush, which was a single shot. It was a backdoor 1-T play and then off of a rebound where you just had people scrambling in front of the net and making life difficult for Gage Reimer, and their obstacle that they were going to face was the goaltender, and they were able to solve it a little bit. But I wonder if there can be any further adjustments for the offense going forward to maybe get 2 or 3 more before the end of the game.
Well, I think if you're the Bulldogs, you want to see Eli Reimer wake up a little bit. We've only really called him taking one shot in the game, one pass for a shot in the game. He isn't being aggressive enough in his line. He's playing almost third fiddle to the 2 freshmen he's playing next to. That's not what you want to see if you're Bulldog fans watching Eli Reimer, as he's your leader and he's leading that line, trying to mentor those 2 freshmen. I think that might be why he took a back seat a little bit, trying to let them flourish and him play off of them a little bit more to allow them to gain some confidence going throughout the rest of the season. But if you're the Bulldogs, you want to see him wake up at this point.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see if Eli Reimer will listen to your suggestions and hopefully try and find an assist or a goal. And we can say a Reimer on Reimer goal, but we'll find out what's in store for us for the third period. We'll step aside for our second period intermission. Bulldogs with a 3-1 lead as they head into the third period of regulation. Adrian College and Indiana Tech. We'll be back for the third period. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Bulldog Hockey on ACTV.
Bulldog fans, remember to follow Adrian College TV on social media. For game highlights and campus events, you can catch it all on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and X at AdrianCollegeTV. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to catch all our future streams live and support your Bulldogs.
The Adrian College Media Production House provides opportunities for students to learn and grow live on the airwaves, just like Matt Kibbe.
I've gotten a chance to create a relationship with coaches and teams and learn more from people instead of trying to teach myself something. Got an opportunity to expand my knowledge of sports, hone in on my skills as a broadcaster, and learn about equipment in different ways. You get more of a connection with professors as well.
Providing opportunities, growing leadership. The Adrian College Media Production House. Thanks for tuning in.
You stand today, students, on the threshold of a magical time in your life. A time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and great, great opportunity. A time that you will always look back on.
This is the Arrington Bookstore at Adrian College, the place to get game day ready, represent your clubs and organizations, and be Bulldog proud. With a wide selection of merchandise and a smile at every visit, stop by inside the Kane Student Center to pick up your Adrian College wares and make it another great day to be a Bulldog.
I'm a special ed social worker.
And I'm a third-year public affairs major.
I'm an action filmmaker.
Jevi is like a consolidated platform where I could have focused information in a couple swipes.
You can be another small voice that adds to a beautiful space. That's what I'm here for.
One-on-one battles lead to unit battles, which lead to team battles, and then a big victory at the end. Nothing different today than what you do every day, all right? Love you guys. Win on three. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Hi, I'm Aubrey Morgan, the current student government president here at Adrian College. I chose Adrian College because of the campus size. Campus feels like a fun, energetic community where everyone knows each other. If you want to see what Adrian has to offer for you, you can schedule an in-person visit at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
Adrian College is a private liberal arts institution known for its diverse academic programs, strong emphasis on experiential learning, vibrant campus life, and commitment to fostering a supportive community. Want to visit Adrian College for yourself? Visit our website at adrian.edu/campus-visit.
Adrian College is shaping the future of higher education and leading the way in innovation and excellence. Ranked first in most innovative schools and second in best value in undergraduate teaching in the Midwest by U.S. News and World Report, Adrian College is recognized for its commitment to innovation, quality education, and affordability. Offering 71 undergraduate programs, 13 graduate programs, and a 1-to-15 faculty-to-student ratio, our students receive personalized attention and a cutting-edge education. With state-of-the-art facilities, 10 academic institutes, and 50 competitive sports teams, Adrian fosters growth both inside and outside the classroom. From small class sizes to championship-level athletics, we provide the tools and experiences you need to succeed. Join a community that prioritizes your success. Start your journey with us, where your potential is realized. Discover Adrian College.
Are you looking to become a future Bulldog and get recruited by Adrian College? Do you display characteristics of tenacity, drive, and determination? With over 50 teams on campus, there are plenty of opportunities to further both your athletic and academic career. For all recruiting inquiries, head to www.adrianbulldogs.com and click on the Recruit Me tab at the top right of your screen. Your future with the Bulldogs is closer than ever.
diploma you will receive symbolizes your efforts and distinguishes you as a highly educated person, learned in the arts and sciences and prepared for a life of achievement and great accomplishment.
Adrian College has built something very special. You've created not just an academic environment, but a culture of physical excellence, discipline, and resilience. You've turned this college into a place where pushing the limits isn't the exception, it's the expectation.
We leave here with countless memories, loyal friendships, and moments that have shaped our character far beyond what we could have imagined when we stepped onto campus. So now, class of 2025, we've come a long way, and I know as we step into this next chapter, we'll step into a new exciting adventure. I know we will do so in faith, in confidence, and in gratitude. Thank you guys, and congratulations, Adrian College, class of 2025.
Before the achievements, before the celebrations, there's the work. Early mornings, late nights. Every challenge faced, every extra effort made.
Every victory starts with preparation.
We value leadership, resilience, and innovation. No victory without work. Because success isn't given, it's earned. Welcome to Adrian College.
If there was one word I was going to use to describe the communication arts program at Adrian College, it would be unique. Students find themselves on the radio, in front of and behind the camera, and directing their own programs. Students learn in a personalized environment that sets them up for a world of opportunities. Are you ready for your moment in the limelight? Learn more about the Rush Communications Center and Adrian College's communications program by visiting adrian.edu today.
Welcome back inside the Arrington Ice Arena. Tuesday night showdown and a top 20 matchup in the ACHA D1. Indiana Tech and your Adrian College Bulldogs right here at the Arrington Ice Arena. Alex Herman, Sean Whitmer up here in the booth. Happy to have you all rejoin us here on ACTV. 3-1 our score after 40 minutes of play. Bulldogs offense coming alive there in that second period as they were able to find the back of the net 3 times and twice by Keegan DeCalloway as they're skating out onto the ice and looking to close things out and head into the Thanksgiving break on a high note.
Yeah, I think a 2-goal lead coming into the third isn't exactly where the Bulldogs wanted to be coming in to the final frame. However, I don't think that they're complaining at all about being up 2 goals against a top 20 ranked Indiana Tech team.
Yeah, and we know this squad is really talented. They've got some good players, and I mean, for the entirety of this game, their goaltender and Gage Reimer has been holding them in this. Seen 27 shots, only 3 behind him, and they've generated some offense as well. And you know, I would imagine they're likely going to go down swinging and not give up any part of the fight.
Yeah, and if they don't go down swinging metaphorically, they might go down swinging literally with all the intensity we've been seeing as of late.
We'll wait for everybody to gather up at center ice for the puck drop. Indiana Tech a little bit late getting onto the frozen surface, but that's okay.
We discussed it there before the break that we wanted to see Reimer come alive for the Bulldogs. On the flip side of that, we'd really like to see Ryan Doucette come alive for the Warriors. 8 goals, 8 assists, 16 points. He leads them in every category except assists.
We'll see what we get as 20 minutes up on the clock and we drop the puck. We'll resume play at the AIA. Stumbling early is Turin as this icing is waved off. Ethan Domini winning the race. Down deep, Malik Ali The lone goal for the Warriors today. Tried to be fed to the slot as it popped up in the air. McLaughlin with a physical play out of the corner. Around the boards to the left side point. Dufort walks it back, and it's off the end wall and into the chest of Traska. Get an early whistle with 19:16 left to go here in this third period.
If you're the Warriors playing in the offensive end early in this final frame, and you were doing it without your leader on the ice, of course you had your team captain in Ali. This line has their leader in goals and points.
It's off the boards to the left side point. Stopped at the corner. Ivasenko will bump it. Strasky with a tangle up as Bro steps in for support. Up ahead is DeCalloway. 2 goals in this game, looking for a third. Allen, his high rising shot well off target, but a good idea. Hens is able to work it loose for Bro. Allen trying to dance through the legs. Strasky, the last guy back for the Bulldogs. Escorts it for Bro. Played it in his feet, right at the red line. Will slide it deep. Reimer with a forced turnover, has help from Toth. Plays it off to the side. The trailing Carter McLeod. Here's Belzile with a drive that gets blocked by a shin pad. Steal from Zaski. It's touched up. Reimer again, quick change of possession. McLeod up top, tipped over the blue line, and Toth will fire it. So a couple of good turnovers there created by the Bulldogs on some nice forechecking plays as Belzile will find Reimer as he sends one high over the crossbar. And like that shooting thought from number 92 in yellow. Up and away. Warriors wanted a penalty, but they're not going to get one. And I think Adrian College might have gotten away with a call there as Domini had it slashed away from him by McLaughlin. Weidman to Hilterman, making his way to the net. Off to the wing. This is Ali, who has Weidman behind him, making life difficult. Now we'll turn on the Jets. Ali's shot shouldered away by Traska. Domini around the cage. Tried the wrap around, but it was tipped off a stick. Gagne tried to bat it out of midair. It was Hilterman with a nice hit. Walking. Looks for his D partner in Mott. Able to find him. Now it's Regan. Will march up the ice. Great move. Regan to the net. Shooting and off the elbow of Reimer and up into the netting. We'll take a stoppage with 16:35 left to go in the third.
This period's been about as even as you could ask. It looks very similar to what we've seen early in the first frame. And I think that that's better for the Warriors than it is for the Bulldogs, as if they can keep this into a dogfight late.
McLaughlin at center ice. Goes around for Dufort. This is motored out of the zone. Santinello had Smith behind him. He's able to break it free. Shielding. As he'll still glued to the puck. Takes a gander. Smith with a shot off the post. It stayed out. It fooled Reimer. Never saw it as the stuff play from Smith again is denied. Oh, that was a good shot from Sebastian Smith to whiz that around a couple of bodies in front. Bulldogs still on it. Stick taps from the bench, applauding the offense. Finally gets out of the zone. Bulldogs again, I think are going to head to the box. Yeah, it's Cash Reagan for roughing.
That's Reagan's second time being in the box. Of course, that first time he was serving the 2 minutes for Nathaniel Mott, who we believe was serving a 5-minute major as well as the 2-minute minor that Reagan served for him. So this time he'll be serving his own.
We'll get a restart on the face-off. The linesman at the blue line blew it down as they were dropping the puck. Back up top, this is worked across. Weidman diving on his belly, trying to break it up. Dunmore across. That ice level shot is impeded as it's back to the wing. Ivasenko. Myler to the flank. And Ivasenko across. Trying to find Dunmore. His pass on ice. Back to the blue line. Myler takes a rip. Weidman trying to get it out. Almost was able to do it. Ivasenko now will carry it back over the line. Myler will dance with it in the neutral zone. Goes 1-on-3 with the Bulldogs, and it's scooped by Sebastian Smith.
That last play by Weidman, he almost got caught in a tripping situation as well. The official didn't call it on him, but some officiating crews definitely would have.
Great move in on net. Quick shot stopped by Traska. He'll hold it. That was a great slip play by the Warriors. Looked like it was Malik Ali.
3 players crashing in. Really a 3-on-1 essentially towards the tail end of that play. You'd like to see the Warriors come out with a little bit of a better look. You're firing it at Traska, who's really a brick wall, and when he doesn't have to move to make a correction, he's not going to give up those easy ones.
What's the old saying? If you got to make the goalie loses, oh my goodness, that almost was an own goal on Indiana Tech. Reimer had his back turned as he was getting back to his net. But typically they tell you in youth hockey, if you want to score on a goalie, you got to make a move. Shot from the point, wide of the nets. Fought off by the chest. Smith tried to get it out. Zaski has a broken stick, so he's playing without a twig. Dufort lets one go, stopped by Traska. 4 seconds left on the power play, fed to the slot. And out over the line, it's offsides. And Reagan can come out of the sin bin.
That was unfortunate as well. Zaski breaking his stick. He was in perfect position to clear the puck and just didn't have a stick to do it with, so he was stuck just standing there watching his teammates do all the work. Almost became a second netminder trying to eat up some space.
Traska will start the offense himself by toying with the puck underneath the red line. It's out to the neutral zone, popping around. Sawyer will collect it. Was in front of McLaughlin. Wing shot fought off by Traska. There's a penalty for interference here. I think it's going to be against the Warriors, number 17, Zane Myler. Kind of hard to see what happened from our perspective over here in the booth. Parts of the stands cover the shallow parts of the glass there.
Not only that, it also just kind of looked like a scrum. And the call came from within that scrum, so I'm a little bit confused as to where there was interference. Bulldogs might be counting their lucky stars here.
DeCalloway walks around. Reimer down low for DeCalloway. Shoots, and it's stopped by the stick. Might have gone off the knob of Reimer. Mins across for DeCalloway. They're trying to find him again. Reimer will get a return feed. Now it's Strasky. On the left side, bumper is Mins to Reimer. Will step into it, no shot, poked free over the line. Stransky will have to carry it back to restart. Mins up ahead for Reimer. Bulldogs enter the zone. There's a sharp angle shot, trying to find the upper corner. That whistles wide and off the glass. It's all the way down. And the second power play unit will take to the ice. Cash Regan will take his time behind the net. Ethan McLaughlin up for Weidman, who shifts into gear. Weidman in. Good shot, fought off by Reimer. Didn't know where it was. Spun around on his backside. Now will get back to his feet. Up at the blue line, McLaughlin fakes it. Reagan to the slot. Dancing around. Back for Reagan. Reagan fakes the pass, goes down low for Turin, swinging it over for Smith off the boards. He jumps back on top of it. Stick handling at the blue line, less than 30 seconds to go on the 5-on-4. One-time slap shot from Reagan, patted away by Reimer, bump off the boards. Smith to Reagan. And the pass is deflected out of the zone by Sawyer. Smith, that's Sawyer behind him. Up the boards for Reagan, out of the blue. McLaughlin's wrist shot stopped by Reimer, and that will do it for the power play as Myler is able to exit the box.
Reimer could learn a thing or two from watching some soccer, actually, as people are making contact with him, and he's not reacting to it as much as you might want to see. I've had the privilege of calling some hockey here where some of our netminders have reacted to the contact and drew the whistle. Of course, the one sitting right next to me got away with 2 of them, helping his team out.
I plead the fifth there. Gonna reserve my comments. Here's a drive in on net. Good save made by Reimer. He keeps it out. This is poked away. Dufort in the slot. Fought off by Traska. Rotated by Ali. Top of the circle. Wrist shot. Deflected into the net. And a stoppage in play. And of course, just a reminder, all ACTV broadcasts are fully student ran, as we will give a quick shout out for our crew tonight. Of course, myself, Alex Herman, and Sean Whitmer up here on the mic. Dakota Clift, our great director here tonight, and Anna Kier running our top cam. Students calling the shots around the rink here quite literally. And a big shout out to our entire crew. Of course, heading into the Thanksgiving break, I'm sure everybody would like some time off, but we've got one more game to finish here today. DeCalloway will run away with it. Mins to DeCalloway in the slot. Will try and take a whack at it. Well, never found the angle. Seemed like there was something that you saw behind the play. Doucette breaking towards the front. It's taken out by Toth. Here's Weidman, leading feed for Mins. One tapped it off his forehand. Weidman getting a bit of a face mask there in the corner by Mayuk. And both players are still tangled up. They're each going to get sent to the box for matching calls, and I think that's the right decision by the officials there to send both guys to the box.
Definitely the right call, and I think Weidman's going to be kicking himself because when he watches that one back on film, I think he'll realize if he doesn't slam him to the ground, the call just goes against the Warriors in that case. But going back to what I seen on the backside of that play, DeCalloway, who ended up coming out of the pack with the puck beforehand, was shoulder checked from about 2 feet away from the boards and ended up crashing into them, bounced off, picked the puck up and skated forward, just pinballing around.
Well, we get some 4-on-4 play here with 9:40 remaining in the third period. Each side having a man sent to the box and some more animosity behind the play, and I think this is going to go against Indiana Tech. Smith will draw the call, and it's Luke Anderson or rather, I apologize, that's Zane Myler who's going to go to the box. So what was 4-on-4 hockey now is a 4-on-3 power play for the Bulldogs.
And that's exactly the point I was making about the Blake Weidman situation.
Yeah.
Same thing there. If Sebastian Smith retaliates during that little scuffle, then Smith is finding himself sitting next to Weidman. If Weidman doesn't retaliate, then it's a 5-on-3.
Act like a possum and play dead. That's all you have to do there. McCalloway bumps it back. Strasky across for Reimer. Tried to one-touch the pass, and now a shorthanded bid for the Warriors. 2-on-1, Strasky in the middle. Shot goes over and saved by Traska. Bulldogs will turn up ice. They have a 2-on-1 of their own. Reimer across for Mins. Played back to the slot. It's in between the leg pads of Aiden Dufort. Back and forth we go on each end of the ice. Strasky will jump in to separate the masses. McCalloway will skate down Main Street and jump into the play. McLaughlin carrying across for Mins. Reagan will stop on the blue line as Mins continues on with it. He'll dish to 44 in yellow. Now along for McLaughlin. Deep for Mins. Up top for Reagan in between his feet. Had to kick it back to himself to hold on to possession. Good saucer pass to Reimer. Back for Reagan. Shooting and a save by Reimer. That was a good one there as he trapped it and allowed for no rebounds.
Almost looked like he got faked out by it there for a second. It almost from this angle looked like he was moving away, and then he had to jump back into the puck, swallow it up in the body.
This is jumped out of the zone. Smith, and whoa, look out. Traska was trying to play it himself, getting aggressive on that play. Didn't think that Smith was going to catch up. Speeding his turn. Wrist shot high and wide and into the protective netting. See his frustration. Thought he was going to keep it a little bit lower. We've seen him take that shot and score off of that right side wing many times before.
Yeah, he was trying to let that one eat, and unfortunately, Reimer is just really solid in the net. If you're not making any misdirection, it's just going to be very tough to get one past him.
McLaughlin eating this at the blue line. He'll spin and will feed Smith. Smith low for Reagan, fans on his pass. Loose lumber on the ice. It was a Warrior stick. McLaughlin to Smith, shoots and deflected. A great step up there by Sabota. Tipped on net, good deflection from DeCalloway trying to find the hat trick.
Well, the hats will have to stay placed on everyone's heads for now, as DeCalloway has been all over the ice tonight, and I think if the game were to end right now, he's definitely in conversation for that top star.
.740 left to go in the third period. 8 seconds on the power play. That clear for the Warriors. Easy and done as they've killed off the entire power play. Cloud across for Belzile, gets interrupted out of the zone. This is Sabota, checked into the boards by Zaski. A great hit, his helmet popped off, so the official's forced to blow the whistle.
Of course, a player safety issue at that point. Your helmet pops off, you call stoppage to the play. Those skates everyone's moving around on are very sharp, and you wouldn't want to accidentally get stepped on, especially on your head.
Neutral zone draw in front of the Bulldog bench. This is played out by Hunter Scholl. Sends it into the boards. Reimer for Mins. Across is able to connect with Weidman, who banged it off the backside wall. Stransky dumps it in, and they're going to call icing here on the Bulldogs, who's just before the red line.
And Zaski just got sent. He stick-checked the official who called icing on him.
I think he was just pointing to the red line. He actually might have just gotten tossed.
Yeah. I think you are right. I don't think he ever made contact with the official, but he did it so close to him and trying to point out the official's error. Sends him to the locker room with assistant coach, I believe Tyler Cataline, following him down there.
He was just trying to tell him to not get the last word in. But what happened on that was the icing was called. It was off of Zaski, and he was trying to tell the official, hey man, like, that was before the red line. And the official did not like the choice of vocabulary and decided it was warranted to give a penalty. So it's just a 10-minute misconduct, doesn't result in a power play for the Warriors, but he's done for the night.
And that means Zaski's going to be the first Bulldog to eclipse 40 penalty minutes this season.
Here's Reimer in on net, wrist shot deflected by Dufort. Rotated up top, kept in at the blue line. Stransky will lob it towards the red line. Reimer back for Weidman. Off the boards, kept in again by Stransky. Takes a fake, the deflection. There's a delayed penalty on the play against Indiana Tech, so Stransky's back to the bench for an extra attacker.
And the Bulldogs understand that they can't give up a goal as far as the Warriors can't touch it, but if you give an errant pass in your own end, you can end up giving up a goal that way, and that would be very unfortunate to...
Yeah. Well, we'll see what the call is. This play, I really didn't see anything at all. As we had a holding call.
And you were looking at the official making the proper call on the backside. Blake Weidman just chirping the player as he's going to the bench, and to the point where the official had to actually separate and move Weidman away. That's something that we've actually seen him pay the dividends for earlier in the season, where he got tripped up and punched in one play due to him chirping a little bit too much.
So the Bulldogs back to the power play. Reagan to the slot for Weidman. Pad save, the rebound. It's kicked away. Lyman again with an aggressive stick to send it back to the corner. It's handcuffed and finally unlocked for Reagan. And I think the Bulldogs now are going to get a call. My goodness, how many penalties are we going to see in this third period? This is starting to get a little bit ridiculous. Turin's going to go to the box, and we'll see what they give him. It's a cross check. I would imagine it was something to do with the activities in front of the nets. So 24 seconds of short-lived power play time for the Bulldogs. Will be 4-on-4 for that time, and then barring any changes, Adrian will head back to the PK.
Yeah, it'd be a 34-second PK for the Bulldogs.
Shot from the points. Ziskinder back for the Callaway. Lifted into the air. Playing the puck down off the bounce is Ivasenko. And it's stolen away from the Bulldogs by the Warriors. Domini gets around Ziskinder. He'll gallop in the O zone. As Ziskinder right behind him, jostled loose by Reimer, tries to poke it ahead for DeCalloway, but can't do it. Reimer will take his time. Ziskinder up ahead for Schomburger, who just deflects it into the zone. Give the Bulldogs some time to change. McLaughlin, a stutter step to the side, stolen from his stick. Gagerman through the middle. Now to the wing as it's bobbled around. Here's Mott underneath the goal line. McLaughlin will throw it to the neutral zone, and out of the box is Hayden Dufort. Ivasenko now to the power play. Backhand shot stopped by Traska. Didn't hold on to it, but that's okay. Mott will wait, and a long pass up for Weidman. 2-on-1 with Smith. Back to Smith, shooting, and it's stopped by Reimer. Could have played it back for Weidman, but the shot, not a bad idea either. And Smith has had like 3 or 4 shorthanded chances here in this game alone, which is really impressive to think about.
Yeah, one on his own, and then he's had 2 feeds from Weidman. One that just got away from Smith, and that one there that Reimer just swallowed up. And let me tell you, with 3 minutes and 13 seconds left in this game, I really wish we had a game 2 of this series, as it's been such a back-and-forth affair all night long.
Well, these two teams do play again later on this season after the GL6 playoffs on February the 26th. It's been a tradition over the past couple of years that these two squads will face off right before the national tournament. Both sides, you know, good in talent, and use it really as a turn-up for that, tune-up, I should say, for that tournament. Lot off the boards, down low. 2:35 left to go in the third period. Bulldogs still holding on to their 3-1 lead. Sent to the neutral zone, Ali for Santinello. Motts will carry and move the boots, but ultimately stolen from him. We'll keep our eyes to our left to see if we get any motion from Reimer, as nearing the point where he'll probably get taken out for the extra attacker. They're able to find the right time to do so. McLeod for Bro. His point shot sailed over the net. Stopped on the boards. Reagan coughs it up. McLeod towards the net. Shoved to Ray. Reagan will stick handle and hug the boards, as I imagine the Bulldogs would have tried to keep it in the O zone and just skate around with the puck as much as possible to kill the clock. Reimer still parked in his crease. Santinello, his pass through the legs of Mayuk. Ahead for Weidman, who's one-on-one with Ivasenko. This is darted over towards the wing for Mocknick. Less than 60 seconds to play in this one. Up to the blue line. Mocknick shooting high and wide into the netting. Maybe a timeout will be taken by the Warriors. We'll see if they decide to talk things over.
Doesn't look like it.
Surprisingly. Down by 2 with 50.3 left to go.
I think a lot of that comes down to the fact that you look at what your power play's done today, and the man advantage just hasn't seemed to help much.
Shot off the draw, eaten up by Traska.
I mean, the Bulldogs have had, feels like a handful of shorthanded opportunities as is, playing 5-on-4 or even 4-on-3. I think 6-on-5 isn't going to make much of a difference if you're the Warriors. You need to grab one here in full strength.
To the slot. There's another shot. Fought off by Traska. Lost it in his protective gear, but holds on to it. Mocknick will jab at Reimer. I don't know what that was about.
I do think if the Warriors get one even strength, though, then we would see the pulling of Reimer. Just feel like you're trying to keep this as close as possible. If you're Indiana Tech, a 2-goal loss to the number 5 team in the nation looks a lot better than a 3-goal loss for those looking at just the box scores.
On the circle, fed to DeCalloway. Out of the zone is Turin as he gets a jump on the puck. Gagerman right behind him. DeCalloway with a great shot, and it's off the crossbar. Oh, that would have been awesome if he got that late third period hat trick.
And I think that's point in case right there, exactly why you don't pull Reimer. It's just been too hard for you to keep it in the offensive zone here today.
This is flipped over everybody's head. Mott will win the race as he chases it to get the icing with the 18.9 seconds left in the third period.
I'm surprised that didn't hit some furniture on its way down the ice. Bulldogs have so many banners hanging here in the rafters that would have been very easy to connect with one.
And the steel beam structures holding the roof up too are lower than most buildings, so kind of hard for you to get elevation on that puck without hitting something like you were mentioning. But 10 seconds left to go in this third period. Puck played to the neutral zone, and the Warriors will skate it back. And that's another win on the season for the Bulldogs. And 1 past 300, Gary Astalos now will look to 400 as he's on his way. He gets win number 301 on his coaching career with the MD1 Dogs. And a 3-1 victory for Adrian College over Indiana Tech. I have to say, that was one of the Bulldogs' more complete and better looking games this season. Indiana Tech is certainly a formidable opponent in the higher parts of the rankings. Gave them some trouble at times. I mean, a 2-goal game is pretty good for the visitors, and the shots 37-30 after 60 minutes of play. Each side had to do their part to try and keep it close. But it's good all around from the yellow, black, and white.
Yeah, I think there's obviously some things you could work on. I think penalties were still a little bit, they were really clean in the first period. Second period, they started to get a little bit sloppier with the penalties, and there in that third period, it seemed to just fall off the edge of a cliff with Zaski getting the 10-minute game, or 10-minute misconduct, getting tossed for the remainder of the game. Just something you can't afford to do, especially when it's just such a simple, it's an easy fix. You just don't chirp the official in that situation. Losing one of your star defenders for the rest of that game could have cost them. Luckily, the rest of the Bulldogs stepped up, and they played phenomenally from horn to horn.
Yeah, and a guy that had to be locked in the entire time is Peyton Traska, stopping 29 out of 30. He was excellent. Keegan DeCalloway, probably also another star of the game, had 2 goals in this one. And I don't know, who would you pick as your third star here?
I think you go either Blake Weidman, Mateo Turin, or you give it to Sebastian Smith. Just guys that, while they might not have tallied anything on the scoreboard, they were all over the ice. They were making plays up and down, defensively, offensively. They impacted the game without impacting the box score.
And sometimes, too, you see this. You can see visiting players get stars of the game, too. So I'll give an honorary mention to number 72 for Indiana Tech, Gage Reimer. Was excellent in between the pipes, stopped 34 out of 37. I mean, some really spectacular saves in that first period. He was excellent here today. So all around, good game from the Bulldogs. You look ahead, you head into the Thanksgiving break, have a couple of days off. Their next game going to be in a GL6 rivalry matchup with Purdue Northwest. That's one of the teams that always loves to bang bodies and play them hard. Those games, December 4th and 5th. The 4th will be at home. That's an 8 o'clock p.m. drop. And then the 5th will be on the road at Purdue. That's an 8:30 p.m. drop. So lots to look forward to, but only 2 games remaining in the first semester. Crazy to think about that we've gotten this far. We're almost halfway through the season.
Yeah, and I think the Bulldogs are going to really just focus on attacking that Purdue University Northwest series and trying to come out victorious. If you're looking at the Warriors and curious what they got next, they have Grand Valley State on December 12th and 13th. That, of course, being another GL6 opponent that they will have to face, and that could affect things as GVSU been off to a rough start, but they could get things rolling late and start to put their name in the conversation. That's the team the Bulldogs will close their regular season out against.
Lots to look forward to for this men's D1 squad. A great 3-1 win today over Indiana Tech. As we will say goodnight for this evening, we hope all of you watching and listening at home have a great holiday and can spend the time with family and friends in a nice, comfortable place. Alex Herman, Sean Whitmer up here in the booth. Bulldogs win it 3-1. You've been watching Bulldog Hockey on ACTV.